Namaskar, I'm Harpreet Kaur and I welcome you all to our live and interactive session. You are watching us on PM eVidya channel 6, 7 and 8 and also on our YouTube handle NCERT official. Well, this session is specially meant for classes 6, 7 and 8. This is our online training on the topic integration of virtual labs for teaching, learning and assessment at the middle stage. Today we are in day 4 of the training session and the topic that we have taken up is virtual lab for languages. Well, we have seen and we have observed real physical laboratories in sciences and in mathematics and virtual lab again for the same subjects. But we also mentioned that it is actually there for all the disciplines, and today we are talking about languages. So how virtual labs are playing an important role when it comes to learning of languages, understanding those concepts, and at the same time we are also talking about simulations, animations, quizzes and whatnot. So definitely we will see how virtual labs are playing an important role in the language learning, what are the challenges and how it is also helping students in grasping the concepts. Now, you can also participate in this training session of ours. It's a 7-hour online training program. So please take down our phone number, which is 8800 440 559. If we talk about our email ID, we have a specific one for you. This is diksha.training @ciet.nic.in. And since we are streaming live on our YouTube handle NCERT official, you can always go to the live chat box, put in your questions there, your suggestions and get in touch with us instantly. Now, we have been telling you repeatedly that it's an online training program, which means there is going to be an assessment also. So, if you wish to attempt the assessment, you can log on to CIET website where assessment courses will be released soon. And if you score more than 70%, you will be granted a certificate that you can download from Diksha portal. So it's very easy. All you need to do is to pay attention to all the live sessions that we are conducting in this journey. So once again, virtual lab for languages, and who is there to throw light on this very important aspect? So please join me in welcoming my guest for the session. We are joined by Ms. Suman Ninoriya. Ma'am is project manager from ETUC DAC Mumbai. Ma'am, namaskar and very warm welcome to the session.
Namaskar. Thank you.
Right. Ma'am, since in this journey you are aware that we are talking about middle stage schooling, classes 6, 7 and 8 specifically. But I want to ask you first of all, what is virtual lab, and in language learning how it is playing an important role, because this is something that is unheard of and nobody has actually practiced it in a lab based format.
Yes, it is very true that before this we are not able to aware that what is language and what is virtual lab for languages. We have seen various labs for science and formal subjects like mathematics, but it is something different. So in today's session we will talk about virtual lab for languages, and we have seen in previous session that NEP recommendation we have seen for middle age learners, and we have seen that how it is important in assessment also. So today we will see what is language labs and what are the challenges the teacher and student face during language learning.
All right.
So
yes, ma'am, please go ahead. Yes, let's start. And of course, I want you to kindly elaborate a bit what are virtual labs and how they are playing a key role in language learning. And if we talk about language, I'm sure that we are talking about all the languages that exist in the country.
Yes, we will talk about all the languages. Primarily for virtual lab today, we will focus on the virtual lab that we are currently providing for English, Hindi and Sanskrit.
Right.
And in same concept as NEP suggests, we have to focus on 22 languages, all Indian languages. So that also we will work out.
Right.
So today's focus on virtual lab for languages, and as you already mentioned, myself Suman Ninoriya from CDAC Mumbai, working in education technology unit.
Okay.
So we will talk about language learning challenges and what are the technology affordance for the language learning. As the technology evolve, what are the various technology tools are available for language learning, and then what is now currently in virtual labs, and in virtual lab what are the languages and what kind of labs are there. And we will also see how we can access this lab from Diksha portal and how each and every activity we can perform. So that we will cover in today's session. So as in previous session, I just repeat this few recommendations that already we discussed in last few sessions. Like in NEP recommend experimental learning, use of virtual lab, access all these learning resources to everyone. Each and everyone can access this lab and resources, and also 3 language formula. So this is very important that NEP recommend 3 language formula. One is your mainstream language, second is your regional language, and third is your optional language. So in NEP it is also recommended that in third language we can use the Sanskrit as a third language because it is very much related to our Indian culture root. So that is there in this language learning. And once we talked about language learning, so what is a language learning? Since from beginning when we are the kids, we learn a language. That is a native language or local language. So mostly by listening different kind of words again and again, we learn a language. So that is basically learning a language in listening, in context of listening and speaking. When we talked about the formal language learning means we are able to write in that language, we can understand that language, and we can able to read that language. So basically this is the 4 important sphere for, we can say, formal language learning or language learning in structured way. So we have to cover all these 4 components like reading, writing, listening and speaking. So in all 4 domains, when we are able to do reading, writing, listening and speaking in any particular language, then we can say we learn that language.
Right.
So these are the important factors of language learning, or we can say these are the important spheres of language learning.
Now, ma'am, I have another question for you. Like you talked about these important components, but we have often seen that generally teachers face a lot of problem in, making students learn the languages or in teaching them the languages, because of course they have to customize the lesson or the I would say teaching methods as per the need and requirements of the student, because we have diverse learners, we have diverse learning styles also. So what do you think are the challenges that exist in this scenario and how teachers are overcoming them, especially in the context of virtual labs and also in the context of middle stage schooling, when they have to bridge the gap between what they're teaching them right now and what they'll be taking up in the higher education as far as the language is concerned?
Yeah, we will talk about the challenges. As you said, there are diverse background of student. The learner are from very diverse background. They have different culture, they have different communication skills, and they have their own native languages. So these is basic main challenges for the teacher to teach any language in the class. And as you mentioned that the teachers are using various pedagogy as recommended in the curriculum also for language learning. They are using different role play, they are using different strategies to learn a language. But the basic problem is that the learner are from diverse background, and when you are teaching a language, you need a medium of instruction that is another language.
Right.
So that is very difficult for the teacher to teach any language in the language that all the student can understand, and that is a very big challenge for the teachers. So the teachers are using different teaching strategies that fit for all. They are trying to use different strategies. They are trying to use different languages also, so that the teacher for that student, if they are from native language, they can understand the language, and they are using the medium of instruction of that language that they are teaching in the classroom.
Okay.
So these are the strategies, and they want to student engage. They motivate. They are using some game. They are using some role play activity so that students are engaged in the learning activity. But as you know, the classroom's times are very limited.
Yes.
The teacher cannot perform all the activity. They sometimes give homework to the student, and student also not able to practice all the language skills at any time, anywhere, because online resources are limited, and also they are not aware to all the online resources that that are available for the student. And sometimes we can say that student is also lack in interest because this is not mainstream subject. So they thought that language we can anyhow learn, and they are more focused on mainstream subject because of the limited time.
Yes.
And also student, this is the very big problem that time is factor for the student, and grammar is also important component for any language.
Yes.
We know that there is a structure for any language, and that structure is basically the rule, or the structure of that language is basically the grammar. So for few languages, like we can say English, Hindi or Sanskrit or any other languages, the rules for that grammars are complex and it is difficult to learn for the student.
Right.
So whenever we can talk about, if we will talk about the formal language learning, so this is the main challenges for the student. And as I mentioned that it is not a mainstream subject, so from assessment point of view, they thought that it is carrying the less weightage. And also a big problem is that in online resources, communication, speaking, pronunciation, for these things there are very few resources available.
Right.
And this is the main point where we can say they can practice the language in more effective way, and we can say they are very advanced in the language or occupied with the language when they know the speaking, pronunciation and communication in right way. So there are very limited resources, so they cannot practice these skills. Until now, this domain is research is going on so that they can provide very effective tools and technology for the students so that they can overcome with these challenges.
Right, ma'am. Ma'am, now that you've mentioned these challenges, I want to understand that when it comes to performing experiments related to science and maths, we know that we need real physical laboratories and an alternate is virtual labs for that matter. But when it comes to languages, I do not understand that what kind of experimentation are we performing here, and also when you do not get those quizzes, or you do not get that collaborative learning, you also tend to lose interest in learning a language. As you said, grammatical concepts are really complex and you need not to just cram the definitions and you're good to go. You need to understand the concept behind them and you need to practice a lot. So what is the role of technology in language learning? Is it about the pronunciation, intonation, your speech, what?
Yes. So as the technology evolves, we know that technology evolve when various tools are coming up. So these tools are also used in the language learning. So we will see what we have implemented in virtual lab. Before that, just I want to mention that how it evolves. So basically, first whenever we got the computer, in that age, when we have the computer, then researcher started text-based instruction for language learning. So whenever any student is started with a computer, and they start any language learning with the help of computer, the computer provided them text-based instruction so that they can practice on that. Based on that instruction, they can practice their language. After that, we have, as technology evolved, we have multimedia, we have audio, video, images. So with the help of audio, video, we got more into the language learning, more appropriate, more in the audio, we got the communication, we got the proper pronunciation. So these things we got with the help of multimedia. After that, there comes a call, computer assistive language learning. So here the advancement of this is, here the system is providing you the feedback. Whenever you are learning a language and doing a mistake, the system is giving you the feedback that what mistake you have done. So in previous session only we are referring the instruction and we are just getting the learning. But here the system is providing the feedback to us so that we can learn and we can correct our mistake.
Right.
And after that, simulation and more interactive system comes in picture, where we can do the exercises in the simulation environment, and during the exercises also we are getting the feedback, we are getting the help wherever we stuck. So this is a very advanced version, and also now AR/VR also coming in the picture. So in AR/VR we are getting the experience of immersive learning, where we can put ourselves in an environment and we can communicate with anybody like we are doing in the real life. So this is very much in advancement. We are also trying to provide few activity for communication in AR VR using AR VR technology, so that a student can get an immersive experience of learning and they can overcome their communication, they can confident in communication, and they can improve their speaking skills.
Absolutely, ma'am, because we all look forward to the engaging experiences, and gamification of concepts is extremely necessary. So there are few more points that are very important when it comes to language learning. Please go ahead, ma'am, with them.
Yes, so as I said, technology evolved from text to we are now in AR, VR say era.
Yeah.
So in virtual lab, we are trying to incorporate the technology and providing you a engaging, interactive, motivating environment where you can learn your language by practicing more and more. So the advantage of this is anywhere, anytime you can access because it is online available.
Right.
It helps student to practice different set of examples so that they can develop proficiency in the languages. And also in this virtual environment, we are providing an interactive environment, engaging environment by giving you some game interactive activity so that you are engaged or you involved in this different language learning activities. And we, as I mentioned, modern technology we have used like feedback wherever is possible. We are providing the appropriate feedback for the students so that they can correct their mistake and they can learn by their mistake. And also, as I mentioned, there is a game. So it is by a game you can enjoy the learning. We have the quizzes so that you can practice by quizzes that language learning. And in virtual lab, as I mentioned earlier also, we have covered currently English, Hindi and Sanskrit.
Yeah, but as I said, it's a work in progress and many more languages are going to come. And now since ma'am mentioned about the virtual labs, that what all facilities or benefits they're providing, let's try to understand the ecosystem of virtual labs also, that how they look like and how they are operating.
Yes. So we will see the ecosystem of language learning, because only we are not giving the simply exercises to the student. There are other things also.
Yeah.
So in language lab, in virtual labs, we have created labs and activity that are not actually the class wise mapped, but it is arranged topic wise, because there are various topics that comes in class 6th also, that comes in class 8th also and 10th also. So the advancement or difficulty level of the topic increased, but the title of the topic is same. So similarly, we are trying to map this activity in the different levels, and it is mapped topic wise so that any class student can refer this activity and can practice. And in different levels, we have covered different aspects of language learning. Like first, we will introduce any concept. In second level, we will see how this concept is implemented in different sentence making or in paragraphs. And for all these activities, we have used drill and practice. More and more you can practice, more and more you got the idea about that topic. And here the data set is whatever examples we are using in this labs, that examples is anytime extendable. Anytime we can change the examples, sentences, and we can provide you more examples to practice more. So currently 10 to 15 sentences we will see in the demonstration, that currently 10 to 15 sentences are there, but anytime we can increase it, we can modify it as per the curriculum and syllabus. And hint and help is provided as required. Like in Sanskrit, it is difficult to understand many things. So wherever is required, we have provided the help and hint also. Intuitive feedback, this is very much important. In most of the lab, we are providing the intuitive feedback. Intuitive feedback means you just learn by your language. So that is what mistake you have done in particular sentence or grammar concept, and how you can modify that mistake that we have given in the feedback. And subject based affordance is given like in English, Hindi and in Sanskrit. These are the different subjects. and in this subject the grammar structure is different. So according to their structure and activity, we have provided the technology affordance like word repository, sentences, and in Sanskrit inflections in the translations, because it is difficult to learn the Sanskrit. And as NEP recommendation that we have to provide all the content for all the learner. So these activities are maybe either in Hindi, English, or Sanskrit. It can be translated in any other language. So the content will be the same, but help, instruction, and other things can be available in other regional languages. And it is the core ecosystem, like we are not giving only the exercises, we are providing theory related to the lab, so that if you are going to perform any activity, any concept like noun, if you want to going to perform any activity on noun, so if you want to refer the theory, you can refer the theory itself in that environment. You need not to go anywhere to refer the theory. So first you can read the theory, you can read the process, how you have to perform that lab. You can see the lab affordance in the simulator. And once you have done with the activity in the simulator, you can also self-assess yourself by using the review questions. So this review questions and self-assessment is there. So after activity, you can self-assess yourself and you can refer the reference. So this is a complete ecosystem, we can say. Not only the activity, we have provided the related theory, procedure, hint, images, and bible for that system. So for different activity, like selection of word in the sentence, complete the table with appropriate form. These are the pedagogies mentioned in the textbook and curriculum for the language learning. These are the methods. So for each and every methods, we have mapped different activities, like in selection of word in sentence, Sanskrit lab, वचन परिवर्तन, वाक्य अनुवाद, उचित रूपम are there. In Hindi, संज्ञा प्रकार, संज्ञा के प्रकार, विशेषण के प्रकार, and kriya. In English, verb form. So basically this some grouping is there. So these group of activities are based on selection of word in a sentence, and some activities are there where you have to complete a table, because there we need to use different verb form and type of different verb or sentences, and sometimes we have to rearrange the word and sentences, and select and make and pair. Audio based exercise is also there, like as I talking about listening. So audio based exercise is also there to cover up your listening skills. In Sanskrit, there is a Shabd Parichay, so that you can listen the word and you can identify the object related to that word. And Hindi also, you can listen particular word and you can identify the spelling of that word, how you can correctly write that word. And English, there is a listen and answer, listen and decode activities, where you have to listen a paragraph, listen a particular sentence, and based on that you have to answer the question. So here your listening skill also improved, and game-based activities also there, because as I mentioned that we are engaging student and motivating student in these activity. So in Sanskrit we have Sangya, Upsarg. In Hindi we have Paryavachi and Bilom, because Paryavachi and Bilom, for that we don't have any structure or like that structure and rules for to understand. So we have provided the game-based activity so that the student can very much involved in the game and can learn these words.
Right, ma'am. Now, ma'am, let's talk about the currently available language labs and how actually we can use these online labs, especially at the middle stage schooling when it comes to learning languages.
Yes, so as I said, we have different languages. So in English, we can say this is the list of few activities that is already available on Diksha, and few activities are under review. So shortly that is also come under Diksha. Learning proposition of location, learning proposition, correction and omission activity, active to passive conversion, tense conversion, improve comprehension skill, direct and indirect speech, reported speech, etc. So these are the list of 12 to 15 activities are there that is currently available on Diksha. And in Sanskrit, Dhatu Rupani, Sarvanam Shabdarup, Sangya Shabdarup, Ekvachan Bahuvachan. And these are few activity under review and shortly come in Diksha, like Uchit Rupam, Chitra Varnan, Patra Lekhan. So you can see these activities are as per the curriculum mentioned in NCERT, and these are some screenshot how we are doing this activity. Like you can see in the Sangya Shabd group, we are also providing the objective of that activity. What is the learning outcome of that activity, so that these activities can also be used by the teacher. And these, you can see this table, and these are the variation. So there are limited options, that is as per the curriculum. So from 6th onwards, class 10 student can use this activity, because here different words are there that can be used in class 6, and some words can be used in class 10. And also you can see the feedback, this kind of feedback we are giving, that you can see what exactly mistake you have done. Not only we are just giving wrong answer, right answer, we are giving that appropriate feedback.
Right.
In Hindi, Visheshan, Visheshan ke prakar, Sangya, Sangya ke prakar, these are already available on Diksha. And under review, Varn Vichar, Sarti Vichhed, Patralekhan, Kriya, Sarvanam, Samas, and also some listening skills are there in Hindi, as I mentioned before. That is also in progress and shortly available under Diksha. So we will just quickly see how this language lab can be used in the classroom. So by teacher, whenever they are explaining a concept in the class, they can use this activity in the classroom to show the demonstration of the activity, to refer, they can also refer the theory of that activity there itself. And after they can go to the simulation, and in the simulation they can ask student to guess the answer, or maybe they can just give the wrong answer and they can show the error, and they can ask student to correct the answer. So in that way they can use this virtual lab in the classroom for the student, for the practice, and make their classroom more interactive. And also another scenario, we can say they can use this virtual lab for assigning practice session out of classroom activity, and now it is available online anytime, anywhere, so student can anytime access this practice sessions. They can just try out 10, if teacher will say that, okay, try 10 sentences for this activity, they can try out the 10 sentences, and the teacher can ask them to submit the report, whatever your answer, they can just submit to the teacher. And they can also mention like if whatever mistake they have done, so they can also write to the student, okay, write down your mistakes also. So by that they can learn by their mistakes. And also there is a third scenario that we are thinking of, like they can encourage a student to practice online till they can reach the 90% correctness level. So we have 10 to 15 sentences, and there also at the end of the activity we are providing that how much correct attempt you have done, so that report they can show to the teacher, and they can try out till they can do the 90% and above. And also for the internal evaluation, teacher can use the log how the student perform this activity. If they are not providing the correct report, the teacher can also see with the logs how much correct they have attempted. So the teacher can also contribute in language lab, as I mentioned that few more lab in progress. So they can also contribute in ideas. They can identify the hard spot for the language learning. And also, as I said, that the data set is extendable. Okay. Anytime we can extend the data set. So for more and more examples will help student to learn more.
And now we can have a demonstration of these language labs. And ma'am, which class you'll be taking, and which subject you'll be taking?
Yes, I will just show you the demonstration, and I will demonstrate you different activity for English, and how you can, first of all, how you can access this activity, right, and then how you can perform this activity.
Sure, ma'am.
So you can see this is the diksha.gov.in. I hope you are able to see this website.
Yes, we can see the web page.
Yes, so this is the web page for diksha.gov.in. Here you can see there are different initiatives of Diksha. You can see here, so there is a one initiative virtual lab. You have to click on virtual lab on Diksha. Once you go to the Diksha portal, you can see virtual lab for Diksha. There are class-wise content available, interactive content for virtual lab available for class 6, 7th onwards. So you have to click on class 6 for viewing the class 6 example, and for class 7, class 7. So suppose I will use first to demonstrate one example for English lab. So I have selected grade 8, that is class 8, and there is a two medium, Hindi medium, English medium. To go to English medium, in English you can see mathematics, science and English languages is there. So I have to click on English. Once I have selected language for English, it will ask to log in. So if you have previously used this, you can start with your login. This is only one time. So you can see here, there are different activity. On the right side panel, you can see learning proposition of location, learning proposition of location, tense activity, improve comprehension. So these are activity for class 8. And you can see these activities are also available for class 7th also, because you can see in tenses, all the tenses are there. So some can be used in class 8 and some can be used in class 8 or 9th and 10th. So I have clicked on 10th conversion activity, and there is an explanation resources. Under that, click on 10th conversion activity, and this is the page where you can link to the 10th conversion activity. Click on that. So now it is, you can see this is a 10th conversion activity under virtual labs. So here, as I mentioned before, about the ecosystem of lab. So here the theory is there. You can read the theory, you can read all the rules for this tense conversions, and then procedure. This procedure will help you to perform the activity in the simulation environment. And then the simulation environment, so this is the lab. So under this lab, I am going into the activity area, click on start. So it will ask you your name to record your observations. So I have written my name. So you can see here, there are various options available. You can select any of these. So as I mentioned that it can be used for class 6 to class 10. So because in different classes there are different versions of tenses, so you can select from here. So these many options are available. So I have selected simple present tense, change to present continuous tense, and this is one tense. This is the sentences. This is dynamically generated. So once I will complete this activity and again start this activity, this is a possibility that I will not get the same sentence again.
Okay.
So in this way, it is dynamic in nature. We can practice different kind of sentences here. And this is the lab affordance. Like in this particular activity, we need different kind of words. So word repository is here to help you. Now I have to fill this sentence that converts the simple present tense into the present continuous tense. So I have to select the appropriate word from here. Like I am just doing it wrong. Now I will click on submit. So you can see this kind of feedback the system is giving you. Like the main verb is incorrect. So main verb is drink here. Drink is incorrect, and how you can correct it. So this kind of feedback is given here in the activity. So like I will again try to attempt this and select another word, click on submit.
Yeah.
So now both are correct. So in this way, the system is giving you what is main verb, what is helping verb, and what is the role of these verbs or words in the different tense activity. And once I click on next sentence, again the next sentence is generated.
And ma'am, can we increase the difficulty level as and when we are progressing, you know, in solving these quizzes and we are getting a good hands-on experience also. Our speed is also increasing because we have a timer here as well. Can we also increase simultaneously the difficulty level?
Simultaneously, we cannot increase, but once we progress, the difficulty level of sentence will increase.
Okay.
Or here we can select the different tenses. So maybe the future tense is something difficult for the student because they will start with the simple present tense. So there they can increase the difficulty.
Okay.
Different kind of sentence they can, like if I will select the past continuous tense of past perfect tense. So you can see accordingly the word repository will change and accordingly the sentence is now flipped. It is now in past perfect tense. So in this way you can try out the variation of this activity. If you need any help, you can click on hint. The hint is given here. So you can refer the hint also. In this way, instruction and theory is again given in the activity. You can refer these things to complete the activity. And now I will show you the self-evaluation. The self-evaluation is given. This is the questions you need to perform to self-evaluate yourself. So this is the self-evaluation. I will show you in new labs how it is in the form of quiz. We can see. So I will quickly show you one example for Hindi. So here in class 7, again I will go back to Diksha platform, Diksha virtual lab. So in class 7, you can see the Hindi is included. So Hindi is included. Now I will click on Hindi. You can see the Hindi lab is there. Okay.
Right.
So in Hindi also there is a Visheshan ke prakar, Sangya ke prakar. I can select any activity. So like I will select Visheshan ke prakar. So here you can see the level is given. Star 1 Visheshan ke prakar, Star 2 Visheshan par Anuchit. So here some way we can say that difficulty is increased because first we are learning the type and then we are learning the use. So like here we have seen Visheshan ke prakar. So Visheshan ke prakar mein there are some words given and there are the types given. And if you want to refer what is the definition of this type, we can click on this I. So this I is giving us the definition. Like this विशेषण में संज्ञा सर्वनाम के गुण, रंग और आकार आदि का बोध होता है, वे गुणवाचक विशेषण कहलाते हैं. So quickly we can refer the help and now just we will put the words here in this activity. I'm just simply dragging and dropping. My screen is small, it is.
Yeah, but it's clearly visible. This
yes.
you are putting under Sankhya-vachak Visheshan.
Yeah.
Or Sarvanamik Visheshan.
Sarvanamik Visheshan. So
Okay.
as I put like that and I click on, once I have completed this, I will click on Jaanch Kare. So you can see this is the output, like the meetha is correct word and thodi is incorrect. So once I click on thodi, so it is giving me the feedback like रिक्त स्थान संख्यावाचन विशेषण के प्रकार के लिए और थोड़ी शब्द एक संख्यावाचन विशेषण नहीं है. तो यहाँ पर हमने बताया कि संख्यावाचक विशेषण के लिए है और थोड़ी शब्द संख्यावाचक नहीं है और इसमें संख्यावाचक विशेषण क्या होता है
जी.
तो यहाँ पर वी आर प्रोवाइडिंग द रेफरेंशियल लर्निंग सो दैट बाय यूजिंग द रेफरेंस दे विल लर्न मोर. And here we can see this is again theory. So in that previous activity, you have to click on theory procedure in different tab. But in new structure, you can see here itself, you can refer the theory, procedure, animation and viva both. So here the different, this theory or self-assessment is in different format. You can see like this. So if I will click on this,
It's the right
it
answer.
is just giving us the feedback of a quiz. Student is finding is interesting
Yes.
because it is in the form of quiz.
And you can
And
kind of involve your peers also in this quiz, and hence it will promote collaborative learning also.
yes, and in the end of this quiz, it is giving us the scorecard also. So that is basically motivating the student to. And here also you can see if I am attempting a wrong answer, it is giving me the feedback so that I can correct it.
So I think, ma'am, that everybody will be a top scorer in virtual labs because you can't move ahead unless and until you rectify your mistakes.
Yes, yes. You can. There we have given only 2 attempts. So we can click on next, 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 and just quickly click on next, 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 and Shama. So this kind of scorecard
Wow.
is generated, and also it is mentioning the time, how much time you have given
Taken.
to the quiz.
Yeah.
So this kind of scorecard is generating at the end of the quiz. So this is very motivating
Yes.
for the student. So this is a complete environment where they can practice, and after that they can attempt the quiz.
And it is also, compelling us to think. In fact, students are being compelled to evaluate themselves and assess where they are, in requirement of some kind of improvement. So I think it's not just motivating, it is also pushing them and helping them to get their problem solving skills right, to assess the question, think about it, then reply, and that too at their own pace. There is no rush, nobody is judging you, you can do it at your own convenience. So it's quite flexible.
Yes, yes. So this is another activity. So I will just quickly show you as we have just a few minutes more.
Yes.
So I will just quickly show you about the Sanskrit activity. So just users can get the idea what kind of activities there in Sanskrit, because till now no interactive activities there in Sanskrit.
Right.
So
but ma'am,
so
before you
similar-
start, I have this question, like I have never learned Sanskrit in my life, never studied it. So person like me, can I access virtual lab and can I go through the lesson? Will I be able to understand Sanskrit, learn this language?
Yes, yes, anybody can learn this language, and primarily we have given the instruction and theory in Hindi language.
Okay.
And we can translate, and we are providing it into English also. So any English learner can also learn this language.
Lovely.
So that the theory they can read in the Hindi, and after the English or Hindi, and after that if the actual content they can read in the Sanskrit.
Great.
So this is the middleware activity, but we have started with the Vyanjan, that is the actual world level activity. So that is also there in Sanskrit. So we have randomly taken Dhatu Rupani. This is basically the pronoun in English. So theory, procedure, animation, simulator, all the tabs are same, and the purpose of all the tabs is same. So we will take one activity, Dhatu Rupani. So here you can see the objective is given in Hindi. So once you will view this activity in English language, you will see the objective and learning outcome in English, so that the English native speaker can also learn Sanskrit.
Right.
So this is in short what we are going to learn in this activity. And this is basically Dhatu Rupani is basically the pronoun. So you have to select the lakar, and this lakar is basically the tenses. So they can select the tenses, and you can see I am talking about the difficulty level and the different variation that can vary from class 6 to class 10.
Okay.
So here you can see the list of words. So starting में we can say for class 6 the pat, has, khe. These three are the common words for which they have to learn the different form of the words. But after that, if we go to class 9, 10, then they have to use the other words also, that is difficult words.
Right.
So first I have selected the part. So you can see for this there is a table, and this table is incomplete. We need to complete this table, and this is in table, this is the format for this word, Purush Vajan. In Sanskrit we have 3 Vajan, Ekvachan, Dvivachan, Bahuvachan. So student need to complete this table for their correct format. and they can use help of the different word repository given here. So like I will select this, simply drag and drop. I have to do click and click on submit. So you can see these two attempts are correct and this is incorrect. I have to click on this. Now it is showing me that ये स्थान मध्यम पुरुष में एक वचन का है. Clearly पता चल रहा है. So accordingly we need to select the another word. Click on submit. If any student don't want to attempt, they want to learn, they can click directly on show answer. It will give them complete answer. And as I mentioned about the helping tool, for Sanskrit we have a good helping tool where the inflections, Hindi translation and example the student can view.
Okay.
So here itself they can see in classroom. Basically the teacher use this technology, or we can say this approach, like they have to just learn these inflections and they can add these inflections in any word to complete that word. So in particular this lat lakaro means this is a tense. For this tense these are the inflections. So basically in the classroom they have to, by rote learning, they have to learn this inflections. So
right.
They can learn from here, they can refer from here, and they can use this in the activity. And if any student don't want to use that or they want Hindi translation of this, they can use the Hindi translation of this. You can see T matlab यह है वह है, ta matlab वे दोनों वे दो. So they don't need to refer any other resources directly. If they are in virtual lab, they can get all the content at one place. And also example sentence is also given, that they can get the idea where they have to use these words.
Okay.
So you can, these are given here. So this is like I am talking about the help, subject-wise help that is available in the activity. And same you can see here, the quiz in the similar way. The quiz is also explanation is given here. And at the end, as I shown you in the Hindi lab, the scorecard will be generated. So they can, with the scorecard, they can motivate them.
Right. It's quite interesting. I mean, such a difficult language for a person like me who has never even started it, but you are making it seem so easy through the help of virtual labs.
Yes. So like that you can try out the quiz. The student can try out the quiz. They can refer the procedure, theory, and also the reference for this lab to refer the different content.
Okay.
So this is all about, if time permit, we can the other lab, or otherwise users can try out by their own. Instructions, help, whatever is required is given in the activity itself. You do not to refer anything else. There is animation also given for the activity to perform that activity. So
right.
This is all about the virtual lab. We have provided different set of sentences, dynamic generation of sentences, and also if you explore more activity, there are image-based activity, audio-based activities are there.
Right, ma'am, and thank you so much, because you not just showed us one language, but you showed us 3 languages, and now we know that how to access the virtual labs and how we can actually take help from the animation and the video material that is available there, and simulations of course are there to help us understand the concepts even better. I think the best part is that it is so easily accessible and content is free of cost, this entire setup is so cost effective that even accessibility is not an issue, whether you're living in some remote area or you're not a part of traditional schooling system. You can always learn through virtual labs and perform better. I think it is all about understanding the concepts and discouraging rote learning, and when you get hands-on experience, things get intact in your memory for a longer period of time. And I think here not just the gamification of the concepts is there, but also it's quite engaging. You feel as if you are in it, you're experiencing it because this is so interactive. What I really liked about this entire setup, ma'am, is that the feedback that you're getting is instant, so you're not losing the interest in the subject, it stays intact. Now we're left with just 1 or 2 more minutes, ma'am. I would request your closing remarks at how actually students, teachers can integrate them in their regular classroom teaching learning stuff, and also that how it is not just learner centric and teacher centric, but anybody can take advantage of this amazing tool that we have, because it's a training session and it is open for all. So your closing remarks on the entire session that you have presented.
Yeah, so basically the language learning is for all. As you mentioned, it is not restricted to any class, any user group. Anyone interested to learn any language, they can learn. So the advantage of this virtual lab, it is available anytime, anywhere for access. We have portal, we have app also to learn this language. You can download the app in mobile and you can use it anywhere, anytime. Right. And also with the feedback, with the gamification labs, with the interactive lab, you can learn these activity. You can enhance. There are few activities that are not available in other systems, like speaking, communication, that is also included in this lab. If you want to explore more, you can just browse this website, and also there is a website, online labs. There also few labs are available, other activities are available. You can access that and you can try this activity. These are the interactive activities. You can learn it by anywhere, anytime.
Absolutely.
And yes, there is a feedback, as mentioned before. The feedback is very much important. You just refer the feedback and correct yourself so that you can continue engage in the activity.
Yes. There are not going to be any barriers and obstacles to your language learning, that is for sure. So thank you so much, Suman ma'am, for your wonderful contribution to the session. It was an indeed delightful journey, and for a person like me who is in the business of languages, I think this tool is amazing. So language learning was never that easy, and thanks to you for this wonderful explanation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you audience for listening me.
Right. So viewers, that was our day 4 session where we talked about virtual labs for languages under the umbrella theme of our online training program, that is integration of virtual labs for teaching, learning and assessment at the middle stage. Now we're through with the day 4 session, but it's important to know what will be coming next. Yes, I am talking about day 5 session. Let's see what's there. Day 5 session. So that was about the day 5 session, and now as I mentioned in the beginning of this session that there is going to be an assessment courses will be released soon, so you are requested to kindly visit the CIET website for the guidelines and other instructions. With this, I'm closing the session over here, but before I exit, few more important updates for you. Let's talk about the textbooks first. So textbooks for grade 4 and 7 are available now on Amazon, Flipkart and NCERT website. Please just go and grab your copies. It's important so that you can start studying and there is no lag in your studies. And as far as the list of today's program is concerned, let's take a look. So we're through with our session for virtual labs, and at 12 we will bring you our session of inclusive classrooms. The subject will be science, and we will learn about magnets. 2 p.m. is the time for our session in English. 3 questions. What will be the questions? Well, that's a topic, and 2:30 we will bring you a session on social sciences, followed by a session of science at 3 p.m. 3:30 p.m. you can learn mathematics. We'll talk about squares and square. 4 to 5 p.m. is the time for our online training program. Social media safety is the topic that's going on currently, and we will end the day with our session Sahyog, where we will be focusing on career quest. With this as a wrap, this is me, Harpreet Kaur, taking leave of you, and will join you soon. Namaskar.